based on the content of what you've mentioned and the characteristics that you describe, is it possible that these are essentially human frailties as opposed to American racism, broader context, the fear of the unknown, being threatened? I mean, could this similar sociological situation be applicable to other countries in part of their history? For example, in Japan, if a Korean is born, he's not allowed to vote, even after so many centuries. So that's racism there. So is America's racism unique, or is it similar as everybody else?
Well, yes and no, I would say that. I think, racism is found even outside the US, okay? So you are right. It's not limited to the US, okay? But however, I would say that on the other hand, the racism is also unique to its own countries or settings, okay? For instance, like in Japan, Koreans, even though they were born in Japan, they were not allowed to obtain citizenship because of, Japanese citizenship was based on really jus sanguinis. That means that unless your parents are Japanese, you wouldn't get it, But I think in the US, if you were born in the US, you are eligible, right? I mean, Asian Americans were able to, not the Asian immigrants, right? So Asian Americans in the US, they were able to, because in the US, it's based on jus soli. That means the birthplace, So I think in either case, actually, it's legitimate by international law. So, but I think, like in the US, anti-Black racism, like if you had one drop of African-American blood, even though you look like white, but you are treated as Black. That is unique to the US. I mean, we don't find it in Japan, So I would say that, yeah, of course. I mean, if you look at look at the people who are committing hate crime, even racist hate crime or, sexist hate crime, then, you can say they might be also victim of the system, but I don't think we can really justify, like, for instance, even in Atlanta, the crime suspect, he was saying that it wasn't based on any racial animosity. And he would say that he had a sex addiction, and it was a mental health issue, but it's a problem. Okay, then you just kill the people, as if like those people, those Asian women are nothing but, it's just, public nuisance, you just get rid of them, you kill them. So I think, there is a danger, you see. I mean, it will lead to just, killing other human beings, okay? So I would say that, yes, we have to understand here, but I think we will have to be, vigilant, and we have to keep in mind that always really what kind of, usually it's not only one single cause, So try to, I mean, that is why there is a value if we understand it, like, okay, it has something to do, and there is a reason, maybe structural issues, then we can tackle, because, apparently some states it's not illegal to commit even hate crime because there's nothing for the hate crime, you see? So we can work on it. So I think there is a way we can reduce or mitigate this kind of hate crimes. And also, as I told you, that right now it is very desirable that Asian American community leaders and activists, they invite and African American and Latino, community leaders and activists, they are joining, Korean and Asian American community rally condemning this kind of anti-Asian hate, So I think it really increase really mutual understanding, and also, it will definitely increase empathy. And yeah, so I think that is the right direction we are working on. I would say that there is a lot we can do. And then also, I think people take right now bystander intervention, mediation training. And so I think that's all. I think really in a good direction, I would say that.